Welcome to the Cleveland and Woodley Park Village's 6th annual fundraising gala and the first ever virtual event, the Summer Spritz.
Hi everyone, welcome. I'm Marjorie Dixter. And I'm Pat Whitty, and Marjorie and I are the co-chairs of this year's first ever virtual fundraising gala to benefit the Cleveland and Woodley Park Village. As members of the board of directors and also longtime residents of the District of Columbia, Marjorie and I are here because we know the value that the village brings to the neighborhood. So join us tonight, we're going to have a blast. We've got trivia game, we've got a live auction, we have a silent auction, we've got a dancing shoe contest, show everyone your dancing shoes hat, and special guest tonight is Kathleen Kennedy Townsend. But first, we want to thank all of our wonderful sponsors. They provide terrific support for us all year long, but particularly in connection with this event, which is our main fundraiser of the year. So thank you to all of our sponsors. But now, let's go have some fun. Thanks, Pat. Thank you, Marjorie.
Hi, everybody. We're about to kick off the Summer Spritz for Cleveland Woodley Park Village. This is our 4th year in a row of collaborating, providing a little music, a little entertainment. Today it's 2 tunes, one by George Gershwin, Someone to Watch Over Me, and then we'll move right into Cheek to Cheek by Irving Berlin. And off we go.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us for this summer Spritz. I'm Frank Finnemore, the Executive Director of the Cleveland and Woodley Park Village, and it's really my pleasure to be your Executive Director. I'm so happy to be here tonight and to celebrate our great organization, because when you boil it down, it really is neighbors helping neighbors. But over these past several months with the pandemic, I've come to a new understanding of our mission and the type of organization that we are. We're also building community. We're making important connections with people as a way of getting by, a way to be together. As our mayor says, we will get this through this together. And I believe that. I see it every day with members calling and volunteers answering and doing things together and helping one another, and even pivoting to a virtual set of programs, which we do so well now. What I'd like to do tonight is to have a lot of fun. We're gonna have trivia. We're gonna auction off 5 great items, and joining me for that fun is my friend and a veteran broadcaster from San Francisco, Liam Makelum.
Frank, thank you so much. Good evening, everybody. I love the word veteran. Welcome to Summer Spritz. I'm so honored to be here. Honored to be here with the village, the entire community. I want to thank everyone who's logged on from all over to be part, as Frank said, of this night of fun and fundraising. And there are many ways we're going to have fun, many ways we're going to fundraise tonight. We do have, as Frank mentioned, an awesome live auction, just 5 incredible items. I'll tease those in just a moment. But first, you're probably wondering, well, how do I participate? How do I give? How do I donate? So Frank and the team have come up with numerous ways you can do that. First of all, hopefully everyone has logged on hand bid on the computer or on their PDA or their phone, their smartphone. You can text and give tonight. So here's what you have to do. You're going to dial this number on your phone. It's 41444, and then you're going to text CWPV for Cleveland Woodley Park Village. So one more time, 41444. You'll put that in your text number, and then you'll text CWPV. Frank, there are some other ways that people can donate tonight. We do not want technology to encumber the giving. So Frank, tell us about the other ways where people can donate tonight.
Absolutely. So hopefully you've logged on in the chat function as a guest and given your name. And if you'd like to indicate that you'd like to donate via the chat, you can do that, and we'll follow up and get all your details later after the event. We'll also make sure that that information gets on the thermometer so that you can see exactly your gift and what it brings us to in terms of our goal. You can also transfer via your automated banking system through Zelle and just use the village phone number, which is 202-615-5853. And that goes to us as well. So we want everyone to be comfortable however they would like to donate. We certainly want you to be able to do that easily.
And also, Frank, we want to mention if anyone has any issues or they have any problems, Claire is standing by. So that number you're probably familiar with, the village phone number, 202-615-5853. So if you're having any technical difficulties, we don't want the tech to encumber your giving. Again, 202-615-5853. Call the number, someone will be there to guide you through it. Frank, we have an incredible online silent auction. We're going to keep it going all weekend till Sunday night at midnight, but we're going to do 5 items tonight. Should we do a little tease here, Frank? What do you say?
Tell them all about it.
Okay, so friends, first of all, she was the first female, of course, Secretary of State, Madeleine Albright, a neighbor to the village. Her latest book, Hell and Other Destinations, it's a brilliant, candid, personal story, her story. A lot of the prime ministers and presidents from around the world leaders that she interacted with, some challenging moments. We have an autograph, a personalized autograph book for a winning bidder tonight. We also have a political cartoon. This one is relevant because it's Uncle Sam saying, you've got to wear a mask, which, as we know in these times, is crucial, is important. So a great piece of art by a local artist. And then we have a sculpture, a weather vane sculpture. When you see this, you're going to want to bid on it. Frank, I know you want to jump in and just say one thing about it. You saw it today, right?
It's absolutely incredible. So you'll love it. Your guests will love it when they see it in your home, when we can be less socially distant. It's a terrific piece, and Dixon Carroll is so generous in donating that to the village for this auction.
And Frank, you're incredibly generous. We know you love to cook. You've dug deep into your Italian roots for a special dinner party, an Italian themed dinner party. You can do it virtually, or you can save it for 2021. Frank will tell you all about that a little bit later. And if you want to get away, I know by 2021, when the clock turns to the new year, we'll want to get away. We have a great Napa getaway. So throughout our program this evening, we will be sprinkling the program with those auction lots. Now, we have to remind you, we're going to do live bidding. So you'll have to get your text to bid in quickly. And we will bring those live results in as they happen. Those 5 items will do live. Everything else will continue on the website, and you can have until midnight on Sunday to bid on all those incredible items. Frank?
So on each of those items, there'll just be 3 minutes in order to place your bid. So it's going to be very fast. So we want you to be ready. So what you can do is grab your phone and log on to the app handbid.com. and look for the live auction items. It's all in one category, and you'll be ready. If you're on a computer or a tablet, you can use your browser and go to handbid.com, and then you can search for Summer Spritz. So again, it's going to be 3 minutes per item. So it's going to be very fast, and we want you to be ready because I want to cook dinner for you, among others.
And also, Frank, we want to say a quick thank you to those who've already logged on and already been generous. So a lot of generosity among us this evening. We want to thank all those early donors. There'll be an opportunity at any stage this evening to give. And Frank, as you know, I always say there's only one way to give, and that's to give from the heart. Please know, whatever you give tonight, whether you bid on a live auction item, a silent auction item, or you just make a donation, however small, however big, everything you give or donate tonight will go directly to our community, directly to the village, to our members, who at this time, I know they need your love and support more than ever, and it will all indeed be appreciated. So let's have a big night of fun, and a big night of fundraising.
And to start it all off, let's hear from some of our members who talk about why they joined the village and what the village does for them.
It's really changed our lives in a lot of ways. It's removed a lot of anxiety for us because we know that if we need help with something, we're going to be able to reach out and people will be there. Whatever it might happen to be, tasks at home, a ride to a place. And we've learned that we can really count on the volunteers to do exactly what they say they're going to do, to be there when they say they're going to be there. That's a beautiful thing.
I initially joined because I had to give up driving, and I thought I would need rides to the doctor, and it didn't occur to me that it would be a social outlet as it has become.
I joined the village in order to help others in the neighborhood, and quite honestly, as an insurance policy for when I might need the village services sometime in the future.
I was 70 and a half years old when I retired from working, and I decided that there's so much going on in the village in these 2 communities that I knew nothing about, and I heard about the villages for me, and I just wanted to join right away. Initially, I didn't know much about how the village works, but I did like the social part of the village, and I liked the spirit of the village. So I enjoyed going on tours and the lunches, meeting people. And for the first time, I really feel like I have a support system. If I need anything.
I just can't imagine living on my own without the village. I don't want to go to a nursing home or a retirement community. I may have to someday, but right now, this is keeping me in my own apartment and independent. I remember when I first moved back, I told my daughter I was joining the village, and she said, "Oh, Mom, you don't need to do that. I can take you everywhere." And now you should hear her, but she even contributes to the village. She just thinks it's great. And she's so happy that I'm involved and enjoying myself as a volunteer as well as a member.
There are too many reasons to say why to join the village, but if you want to be able to enjoy as the years catch up, living in your house and having the community, not just the feel of a community, but the actual existence of a community, to have neighbors who haven't yet reached your ripe old age come forward and help you, not because it's a duty, because they really feel that they want to make the community work.
How does being a part of the village make you feel?
It makes me feel like I'm not alone in this big city.
And thanks to our members, so wonderful to hear from our members. And that's why we're here tonight for Cleveland Woodley Park Village. We're here for the members of the village. We're here to fundraise tonight. And of course, have lots of fun along the way. So our first auction lot. So if you want to partake in this part, the live auction, we're going to spend a couple of minutes each time on each item. And so you have to go to handbid.com, put Summer Spritz in the search bar, and there you will see all the auction items. And there are just 5 we're doing live. So hopefully you're on there, you're ready to go. And I'm going to ask you to be quick with your bidding, because when I say last call for bids, that literally is the last call for bids. So here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, auction lot number 1. She was the first Secretary of State, female Secretary of State here in the United States of America, Madeleine Albright. She is one of the brightest of them all. And her brilliant new book, To Hell and Other Destinations, it's out now. It's candid, it's smart, it's brilliant, it's funny. Just like Madam Secretary herself, she has sat with the world's biggest leaders, all corners of the globe. Boy, does she have stories. Yes, she does. And she tells them with aplomb and also with a lot of humor. So this book, this memoir, we have a copy for the winning bidder this evening. And the joyful part of this is it's going to be personally autographed to you. So whoever wins this bid will get the book personalized, a personal autograph from the Secretary herself. So friends, I'm going to ask you, give big, bid beyond your means. Don't look at your bank statement for a week and know that everything you bid on tonight is going to go directly back to the village. Before we start the first bid, Frank, this is an important part of the night for the village, right?
Oh, absolutely. And we want to thank everyone that has donated so far, including 3 people that have just recently donated since we've been on the air. Thomas Miller, Susan Messina, Peter Grilly. Thank you so much for your donations. Every little bit helps us to serve our members. And we heard some compelling stories from members in our recent video about why they joined, and the safety net that the village provides and the social outlet to keep seniors part of the vibrant community that we so love. Just want to remind you at this point that the auction item for Madeleine Albright's memoir is number 401. That's 401. And if you're using, again, the app, then it's very easy to search that for Summer Spritz if you're having an issue, or if you're on a computer or tablet and you're using it from your browser, please do that and search for the Summer Spritz, and you'll be taken to the Madeleine Albright book. I just want to say one thing that really keeps us interesting is that we're always trying to do things a little bit differently. And tonight is an example of that, Liam. You know, we would normally be at the Kennedy Warren, which you saw in the opening, and we would have many people there. But tonight we actually probably have more people watching us, and we're bringing people together. That's part of the village's mission, to bring people together and to build community. And every little bit helps. So we want you to bid because we want you to have fun, but we also want you to know that you're really supporting the village and supporting our members.
All right, Frank, it is our Summer Spritz live auction. Live auction item number 1. It's the book by Madam Secretary Madeleine Albright, To Hell and Other Destinations. So we're going to go up in increments of 10. We're going to start the bidding at $50. $50 our first bid. Anyone want to jump in at 50? $50. Remember, this book is going to be personalized. It's going to be autographed directly for you. I know Frank's keeping an eye on the bids as they come in. So please don't think about the actual value of the book. Think about the joy you'll get from the book, and also the joy of fundraising and contributing to the village and ensuring this great work for this great community continues, and that we serve our members wholly and fully. And of course, now more than ever, with a lot of isolation, everyone's having to stay indoors, the need is greater than it's ever been. So we thank everybody for whatever you can give tonight, whatever you can bid on tonight. So $50 we're asking out of the gate. Anyone at $50 for the Madeleine Albright book? Do we have one, Frank?
16 bidders, and we're up to $220 on that item. So that is just terrific news from our great supporters here at the village.
$220. Let's keep the bidding going, everybody. If you're there bidding, come on. Don't be frightened to outbid your friend, because you're doing it for a great cause. $220, the high bid so far. Anyone at $230? I know Frank's keeping an eye on the numbers right there. We're hoping for $230, maybe $240, maybe anyone at $250. Frank, how are we doing? Those bids as they come in, it's the personally autographed book by Madeleine Albright. It's a great read, a super read, and you will have a personalized copy all for yourself. The last bid at $220. Frank, how are we doing? Any more live bids coming in?
At $220. 16th bid is at $220. Hopefully it'll be going up here.
$220. So
$230. We just got the 17th bid at $230. $230 for Madam Secretary Madeleine Albright.
And we want to thank the secretary. Of course, she's a neighbor, doesn't live too far away. She lives in town, and very generously gave this lovely book, which she's going to personalize for the winning bidder tonight. I'm hoping we may get one more or two more bids, maybe get up to $250. How are we doing, Frank?
Keep hoping there, because we're now at 20 bids at $270 for the memoir. What a great success that is. But let's see who.
Anyone at 300? I would love to see this go for 300 for the book. Wouldn't that be magnificent? Not just because the money will go directly to the village and help our members, but also just when Madam Secretary hears that we raised $300 for her book, which you can buy paperback for $25, but it's not autographed. So this is rare, this is special, this is unique, this is one of a kind. It's for the winning bidder. So anyone want to jump in at 300? Frank, do we have a bidder at 300?
We have a bidder at 280. We have the 21st bid is at 280. Let's see, 23 bids at 290. We're just $10 away. Somebody.
290. Okay. Last call for bids. Last call for bid. Anyone at 300, bid 300, and you can take the book home tonight. Anyone at 300. It's the Madeleine Albright. Remember, tonight we're raising money for Cleveland Woodley Park Village. All the funds going back to the village, ensuring that the great work by the volunteers, the staff continues. Do we have anyone at 300, Frank? I know we're pushing.
25 at $300. And bidder 26 must be at 310. That's what I'm guessing.
310. Okay, we're going to close the bidding. Frank, should we do a countdown? 5, 4,
310.
2. Last bids now. Frank, who got the winning bid?
Bidder 29 at $330.
Yes, congratulations. $330. Congratulations to our winning bidder right there, number 29. That's fantastic. Okay, Frank, let's move on. And our next auction lot on the block tonight, a Pulitzer Prize winning cartoonist, Matt.
Liam, I got it correct. Sorry, the ending bid was $340. So
Oh,
we our goal by $40. So thank you so much for that incredible auction item bid. Thank you.
Thank you to the winning bidder right there with a bid of $340. We're going to get the book to you. It'll be signed by Madam Secretary herself. All right, next, it is the political cartoon. So fitting, so perfect for now. Uncle Sam, he wants you, but he wants you to wear a mask. Yes, he does. So here's the deal. As we know, Matt is a Pulitzer Prize-winning cartoonist. This will be so wonderful. Just think, actually, Frank, we're getting an update there. A winning bid actually of $350. So sorry, Madeline Albright, winning bid of $350. We got it. The last bid is final, $350. It's sold to that winning bidder. There we go. No more bids. Okay, there's a lot of texting going. It's okay. We're moving on, friends, and let's get the bidding now on the political cartoon. So, ladies and gentlemen, check it out if you haven't already. This is pretty special, right, Frank? He's a neighbor. He's right here in our backyard. He's won a Pulitzer Prize for his cartoons, and this is a special, special piece that could be hanging in your home this week.
Absolutely. And our co-chair, Pat Whitty, went and had this wonderful political cartoon framed, so it's ready to go on your wall. It's just the perfect way to remember this pandemic and to know the importance of wearing a mask for other people.
That's it, for other people, yeah.
That's what this community is all about, how we are standing up for other people and being there for other people. So let this hang on your wall and show that you too care. And it'll be a great memory of your support of the village.
So here we go. Friends, the political cartoon by Matt Worker, Pulitzer Prize winning cartoonist. We're going to go up in increments of 50. We're going to start the bidding right here, right now at $450. So everybody get on hand bid, get those bids in. Get those bids in, $450 our first bid. Anyone with an opening bid of $450. Again, we're trying to raise as much money as we can here tonight for the village. Please know that whatever you bid on, all the money going directly to the village and its programs serving the members. So please be audacious if you can in your giving tonight. It is indeed appreciated. So $450 is our opening bid. We'd love to take it to $500. Anyone at $500, $450 the opening bid. Do we have someone at $500? Anyone at $500? Frank, any bids coming in?
We have two bids so far on the political cartoon. It's at $500 right now.
500 is bid. 500 the current bid. We'd love to take it up to 550. Anyone at 550 for the political cartoon? And just think, you'll be able to have this in your office, hang it in the home. It'll be a talking point, conversation piece. Guests come over like, wait a minute, I recognize that cartoonist. Of course you do. And it's yours, the winning bidder, of course. So 550. Anyone at 600? Do we have a bid at 600? Frank, any bidders coming in at 600? Looking for a bid of 600.
550, and now we're for 600.
We got a bid at 600. 600 is now bid. 600 is now bid. Folks, jump on hand bid. Check out the live auction items. Jump in there. Don't be frightened to outbid your friends. Be competitive and just know that we are raising funds tonight for the village. So the higher those bids, the more funds we raise, and the better we'll be able to serve all our members of the village. We have a bid in at 600. Now we're looking for 650.
4 bids at 600. So we're looking to go to 650.
Anyone at 650? Anyone at 650? Be bold, be audacious. A bid at 650, and just think that incredible cartoon, Pulitzer Prize winning cartoonist, and that will be hanging in your office, your home this week. Looking for a bid of 650. Anyone want to jump in now? Be bold, be audacious in your bidding.
50, Liam. We have 5 bidders at 650 right now. So let's go to 700 and see what we can do.
Be part of the 700 club, everybody. The 700 club, or even more. What about the 750 club? Let's be bold. Get those bids in. Bid high. Anyone want to go for 700? Anyone at
now at 700?
Oh my gosh, it's a frenzy. 6 people, they all want this cartoon. Yes, they do. Do we have anyone at 750? Let's keep the bidding going. Bid high. Go on, be bold. Maybe go to 800. Anyone want to jump in now? Take it off the board at 800, unless, of course, you get outbid. Anyone want to jump in at 800? We just need one bidder, one big bidder to make that donation, to make that bid, and we'll take this off the block for you. Last 30 seconds. Anyone at 800 want to be bold, audacious? Get that bid in now at 800 for the cartoon, the political cartoon. Yours for a bid of 800. Frank, anyone in at 800?
We're still holding at 700 right now, so let's
Anyone
try.
at 750? Anyone at 750? We have 6. We have we have 6 at where are we, Frank?
700. We're at 6 bids at 700. So
700. We want to go to 750. Anyone want to jump in now at 750? I know we can do it. Maybe you're going to go and order a fancy meal to go this week, put your dinner on hold for a week, and instead bid on this incredible item, this cartoon. You'll be hanging it on your wall or in your office. We need someone to outbid someone else. 750. Anyone want to jump in at 750?
we got 750, Liam. 750.
We just have one at 750?
7 bids at 750.
Oh my gosh, they're all bidding the same amount. Okay, anyone at 800? Come on, everybody. Let's get this frenzy going. 800. We're looking for 800 or an 850 bid. Let's be bold. Let's take it up to 850. Anyone want to jump in now at 850? Anyone at 850 or even 800? We had six there at 750. We're looking for 800. Do we have anyone at 800? Anyone so far, Frank? Anyone at 800? No?
Yeah, but we've gotten 3 great donations. We so appreciate them from Sheila Rizzo, Nancy Pines, and Jacob Stevens. Thank you for your donations. Every bit helps, and we so appreciate it.
So where's the bidding, Frank? Are we at 750?
So let's give it a final count. And
750. We're going to take it up to 800. We've got 3 generously bidding, but we'd love to take it at 800. Who's going to be the first person to take it at 800? Anyone at 800? Let's get those bids in. We thank you for your generosity. We thank you for jumping in, but we'd love to take this off the block. 800 or more. Anyone want to jump in? 800's the bid we're looking for. Let's do a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Frank, do we have anyone at 800? Those last bids coming in. We have 3 at 750. Anyone at 800 for the for this glorious piece you can hang in your office? The winning bidder. Who do we have
for the final tally here? See who the winner is. In the meantime, Tanya Seacrest donated $75. We're so appreciative of your donation. Tanya, thank you very much.
Friends, you can jump in and just pledge to give at any point throughout the evening, but we want to just wrap up the second auction item, and it's the cartoon, the political cartoon. You're in a political town, of course, DC, so politics we knew would make its way into this evening somehow, but this is a great piece by Matt Worker. So we had a bid of 750. We're hoping for one bid of 800 to take it off the block. Anyone at 800? We have a bid at 750, 2 at 750. If we're looking for 1 at 800, anyone want to jump in? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Frank, anyone at 800?
Looks like we're still at 750.
Okay.
And great price for this fantastic political cartoon by Woodley Park resident and Pulitzer Prize winner, Matt Worker. So thank you very much. We'll announce the winning bidder in just a moment.
Yeah.
What I'd like to do now is to move on to hear a little bit about those special people that we call our founders, who had the foresight and the vision to make this organization a reality. And so let's go to them now, and we can hear a little bit about what that story was about.
So the Citizens Association, which I was president at the time, always asked its members what kind of initiative, community and neighborhood initiative, they would like to see the Citizens Association spearhead. And always the village was mentioned. So we got a few people to do some preliminary research.
Tom and I got involved largely because we saw the community was behind this.
So I had the first meeting in our house, Ginny, you're right, around our dining room table.
Bill and I went door to door of people we knew well. Ask them for $1,000. That is not an easy thing for me. And I could never have done it without Bill.
And everyone came and really felt, I thought, the familyness. I mean, the real community connection and the sincerity of our trying to do something.
And even today starts simple. It starts around the table or behind a desk. It just has to start there. And I think what got me, other than being voluntold by Barbara, my OB, my other Barbara, but it seemed like such a simple mission and message.
Together that community in a way, in a new way that was very personal and simple.
When I saw this through the Citizens Association and this opportunity, I really thought, you know, the whole idea of this is neighbors helping neighbors.
One of the great benefits to me is to be part of Woodley Park.
Stepping into a group where there was already such a solid foundation was very appealing. And for me, the opportunity to help create community was, you know, that's the sweet spot.
When we started the village, we were really looking at trying to create, you know, help people do what they, for themselves, what they could no longer do on their own. And it became more service oriented. And as we have grown as a village, we really have sort of changed, I think, some of our priorities to understand that what people really are looking for is a connection with the community, that they're feeling more isolated. The people that we talk to will say, you know, I'm not sure I need so much help, but I really would like to be able to meet with other people.
You know, I don't know what gods or stars aligned and gods were smiling on us to get this thing up and running before a pandemic.
For the future, I think we have to continue on the way we have, and it's been growing and changing for the better.
I don't know, I just know for myself personally, doing things with others, for others, just is the best thing for me, you know, in my heart and in my life.
I just want to say that I was there from the beginning of the story, and I know where you are now. And it's all true, what you said.
It's so inspiring to me, as I'm sure it is to you, to hear our founders who had the foresight to create this great organization. I'm just so honored to be the executive director and keeper of their vision, in essence. And so I thank them really from the bottom of my heart. What I'd like to do now is have a little bit of fun with you and announce a trivia game. So again, we're going to use the chat, and I'm happy to say that this is going to be a little challenging, so be real careful here. So the first trivia question is, what number president was Grover Cleveland, for whom the Cleveland Park neighborhood is named? As in, our current president is number 45. So what number was President Grover Cleveland? And the person who is the winner of this trivia contest will actually get a $25 gift certificate to a local restaurant. And if you're not local, we've thought of that too, because somebody donated some Starbucks cards. So they're everywhere. So we want everyone to enjoy and participate. So we're looking for that answer in the chat function. And while we're waiting for that, the first person to tell us the number that President Grover Cleveland was, we will announce that Minturn Wright, one of our founders, won the political cartoon for $750. And that's just delightful that that will be hanging on his wall as a founder. Right now, we got one person who said, Michael Roy said that it was Grover Cleveland was number 23 And unfortunately, that's not right, Michael. As much as I adore you, it's not right. But Joan Daly, she called in, and actually Joan Daly got it, and Grover Cleveland was president twice, but not consecutively. So he is president number 22 and president 24. So Michael, you were right in the middle, but that wasn't when he was president. So Joan, congratulations. You're going to Cactus Cantina, and when this pandemic's over, I'm going to join you. Okay, great. What I'd like to do now is to move to yet another contest. We asked everyone to send in photos of their dancing shoes, and Marjorie's going to let us know who had those shoes. Marjorie?
This gin Ricky from Atomic Billiards in Cleveland Park is so delicious. Let's all take 1 second to take a sip. In addition to our trivia fun tonight, we asked everyone to send in their favorite dancing shoe photographs, and we got 5 great entries. But I gotta tell you, it was tough. 2 men's shoes, one was okay, one was amazing, and 3 women's shoes made it really difficult. One had sparkly diamonds, one was all sparkly, but you know what? This one pair was so unusual. And that pair, I'll tell you in a second, but first, the men's tuxedo shoe has a little story, and the winner is Eric Parker from Cleveland Park. And he said about his shoes, I designed these festive dancing shoes and had them made to my specifications in India. They're a fun addition to a tuxedo or dinner jacket ensemble and give new meaning to the term twinkle toes. So Eric, I hope you enjoy your gift certificate to Silver Brasserie on Wisconsin Avenue. Sashiko, we want to hear your story. Can't wait to hear what it is. In the meantime, you're going to get a certificate to Cactus Cantina. So thank you all for playing. And oh, before we get back to the show, we need a word from Sandy and John, the co-chairs of our Cleveland and Woodley Park Village.
I am John Weeking.
And I'm Sandy Rubin. As board co-chairs, members, and volunteers, we are proud to be guiding the founder's vision into the dynamic village it is today. COVID has made our work even more vital.
It's simple. Neighbors helping neighbors. Now let's hear from some of our other volunteers telling us why they give so much of their time, but also about the added benefit they have derived in return.
I enjoy shopping for 2 families who live right near me, literally blocks away. One family is a vulnerable couple who has a list of items to get at the Giant, and I actually do my own shopping when I'm shopping for them. So it's really super convenient. And their daughter sends me the list by email, and I get it a few days ahead of time. If there's any questions, she's there to answer them immediately. And I drop them off and I wave hello to her mom and dad. And it's just really nice to see them.
I've done lots of home handyman things. I've put together lots of IKEA furniture. I've made minor electric repairs. I've done plumbing work. I've done a little bit of everything. Carol has done lots of visiting with senior members who don't get out much for various reasons. She's read to individuals who needed someone to read for them, but she seems to really enjoy just providing the company that individuals often need.
I like volunteering for a lot of reasons, but I think one of the most important to me is that my schedule is sometimes hectic, sometimes not, and I like the flexibility of being able to do something for my neighbors, for my friends, which fits into my schedule.
Right now, mostly what I do is driving. That seems to be the greatest need for member services. So, and I love to drive, so that's what I do mostly. And some grocery shopping.
We built to a kind of weekly cooking, delivering, and note writing campaign for members of the village that has really been a very, very meaningful and important part of our lives since this unexpected thing happened.
Well, we kind of basically
collected food from our neighbors, not just neighbors, but people who are also involved, and they brought food and we organized it into certain people's bags. And my brother and I wrote letters saying, here's some food during these hard times so you don't have to go out and risk your lives. And basically we then kind of took off and kind of told other families, and they came and helped us deliver them.
It's very nice to get to know some of the people in our neighborhood and find out about their lives and what they have done over the years. We have a very diverse and interesting group of people in Woodley Park and Cleveland Park, and it's really nice to get to know them.
I do a variety of things as a volunteer, but I'm one of those strange people who actually enjoys solving technology problems. So most of what I do is help people with their computers and their phones, their streaming devices. Most importantly, though, I have met some really interesting people as a volunteer, and some of them have actually become friends, social friends.
And I'm Carol Joseph, and my experience has been completely different from Mike's. For years, I have helped one particular family, mostly with grocery shopping, errands, doctor's visits, things like that. I've made friends with their grown children who are out of state. I've been invited to their birthday parties, and I'm kind of considered extended family. And just this morning, one of the daughters emailed saying, "It's hard to see my parents declining, but at least they're in their own home, for which they are very grateful." That's a quote. And that's exactly what the village is all about.
I just discovered that older people than me have really interesting lives and fabulous stories to tell and wisdom to share.
It feels nice that like you're giving back and you're doing something for someone else, but also helping other people so that they don't have to go out as much. It feels like you're being useful.
One of the great things about the village is that it takes me out of my usual realm of experience. It takes me out of my head, which is full of regulations, because I'm a lawyer. The village volunteer work takes me out of myself, into my community, in a way that makes me feel more fulfilled and happy and much more connected to my community.
I want to thank our volunteers. We really could not be the village that we are without them. They are just terrific, and they always go and answer the call that we need answered on behalf of our members. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart to all of our volunteers. Again, we couldn't do it without you. We want to just update you a little bit on the donations. The thermometer's been rising, and we couldn't be happier about that. At this point,
Frank, this is very exciting because generosity abound tonight. We want to thank our village community for just bringing it tonight. Big hearts, big night of giving. A couple of shout outs. Let's thank Janet for her $100 donation. Janet Cyphers, thank you. Another one for $500 here, Frank.
Wow. Fantastic. Mimi Cutler, thank you so much. It means so much to us for your donations. It means the world for us for any amount of donations. It's so important, and we thank you. So thank you for giving. Again, you can do it via chat. You can get your smartphone and start a chat to 41444 and then type in CWPV, and then it'll lead you through the process, or you can send something via a Zelle money transfer. But Liam, let's go to our third auction item.
Let's do it. So friends, back to hand bid. If you want to bid, we're going to do a live auction item right here, right now. And we have a weather vane sculpture by an architect and also a sculpture, of course. It's Dixon Carroll. And Dixon is actually a resident right here in the village. So we're so grateful for this very generous donation. And now, friends, you have a chance to bid on it. Frank, you saw the weather vane, the sculpture earlier today. It's a magical, beautiful, beautiful piece, isn't it?
Oh, it's fabulous. I went over today, saw it on their front porch. Just amazing. And for those of you that are familiar with the neighborhood, if you've gone to the Macomb Street Playground at Macomb and 34th Street or 34th Road, I can't remember, you'll know the gazebo there. It's so beautiful that he designed, and it's brightly colored. This auction item of the weather vane is just as brightly colored and beautiful. So we hope that you'll bid on this, and know that if you do, and you are the winner, that you will just impress everyone, because this is such a beautiful piece of sculpture, really a fantastic piece of art to adorn your house.
And Frank, just in case folks are looking at the image and wondering, well, how big is this? Will this fit in my house? Do I have room for this? You saw it yourself today, Frank. So we're talking, it's 12 feet wide and about 29 inches high. Is that correct?
Yes, it's just 12 inches wide. It's 29 inches high, so slightly more than 2 feet, and that's with the base. And I should say that what's really amazing about this is that this was a model that he built because he was going to build the weather vane for the house that he was going to that he was living in Cleveland Park. And so this is, the base actually mimics the roof line. And so even that is interesting. So this is certainly something that can go, on a side table or in your living room or in a special place in your house, so that it gets the special attention that it deserves.
And Frank, fair to say that this weather vane will be a talking piece, a talking piece and a conversation piece for those who come by your house and they see this beautiful piece of work by Dixon Carroll. We want to thank Dixon so very much for his kindness and generosity. So friends, here we go. We want to get the bidding going. We want to raise as much as we possibly can. Bid high, bid with your heart. We're going to go up in increments of $50. Tonight, we'll start the bidding at $750, the weather vane sculpture. Let's get those biddings going right here, right now. $750, do we have a bid at $750? Anyone want to jump in? Get our first bid in at $750. Just think, this could be in your home. Tomorrow, it'll be in your hands, in your home. Invite your friends over. They'll go, "Ooh, what is that?" You're like, "Oh, it's a piece I bid on and I won." And you get to be that person if you win this bid tonight. Opening bid, $750. $750. We don't want to say anything's a steal, but $750 an opening bid. To bid and win this right here, right now, you could. We hope we'll get lots of bids for this, but anyone want to jump in for the weather vane sculpture at $750? A special piece, a unique piece. You'll always know what the forecast is because you've got your own very special, unique weather vane, and done by one of your neighbors, Dixon Carroll. So anyone want to jump in at $750? Going to invite you to be bold, be audacious in your bidding this evening, and listen, if you don't have a piece like this, now's the chance. And by the way, I do want to mention, I know, Frank, you had a special mocktail or cocktail. If you haven't had your cocktail yet, I'm going to suggest you have your cocktail. Frank's got his, because I know when you've had a cocktail, sometimes you get bidding a little more, a little higher. You're not thinking about the value. You're thinking instead about the fact that tonight we're giving back to the village. We are serving our members and ensuring that the great work and the great service that is brought to our members of the village continues. And this time, as we know, the need is great. So anyone want to jump in? Yes, we have a bid at $750. One bid in at $750. Anyone want to jump in at $800? Anyone at $800? Listen, don't be worried about outbidding your neighbor. They'll be okay with it because the funds are going to a great cause, a great place. Of course, it is back to the village, right here in your backyard, helping our members, serving our members. We have one bid at $750. That one bidder, Frank, could be very lucky. Anything else you want to add, Frank? You saw the weather vane today. You saw the sculpture piece. I know you wanted to take it home yourself. What else can you say to entice our friends to bid?
it's just the perfect conversation piece. Whenever somebody sees it in your home, they're just going to ask you, wow, where did you get that? And I think you're going to have a great story to tell about not only the artist and his amazing work, but also about supporting the village as a way of buying this. So if you're from outside of the area, outside of the district, and you're in Silver Spring, you may know the Nora School. Dixon Carroll also developed a weather vane there. And his work is there as well. So, you know, this is just a great opportunity to purchase this fabulous piece, retail that probably at least $1,200, and here we are at $750. And so we appreciate that bid, and we really would love to see additional bidders. Just a reminder on the size of the bit of the sculpture. It's just 12 inches wide, it's 29 inches high, and the depth is about 1 foot. And so this is something that will fit easily in your sitting room or in a special place in your home. Don't let the size deter you. This is you'll find a special place for this sculpture.
So Frank, I'm thinking, just because I would love, by the way, thank you to our one bidder at $750. We thank you so very much. I know we've got a very, very special guest we're going to introduce. Frank, why don't we keep the bid open on this for about 10 minutes? I'd love to see it go up. I really would love to see this go up just a little bit if we possibly can. And we'll come back and we'll close the bid after your next guest.
Absolutely. Great idea, Liam. And just want to say that our next guest is just a fantastic supporter of the village and someone that I'm proud to call a friend and is so inspiring. But I'm going to let Marjorie Dick Stewart introduce our guest speaker, Kathleen Kennedy Townsend. So let's go to Marjorie.
Hi, everyone. I'm Marjorie Dick Stewart, and I'm so honored and thrilled to introduce my friend and neighbor, Kathleen Kennedy Townsend. Kathleen is the first woman lieutenant governor of Maryland. She's the executive director of Retirement for All, an advocacy group to reform our retirement system. Kathleen is one of the warmest people I know. She's a big giver to the community, full of heart. She's super smart, she's fun, and she's here with us tonight. Welcome, Kathleen.
Thank you, Marjorie. It's great to be with you and with Frank, who I think has done a great job in being the executive director of this terrific organization. I've learned a lot about community throughout my life, but especially in the last few months. After my daughter and grandson died, what I realized is how important community was. Reached out to me, as you did, Marjorie, in helping write letters for me, helping to address letters for me. Others made dinners for me. Others called and spoke. And I felt embraced by a whole group of people. And that was so important. Another group of friends of mine had what we called a patio support group. And each night we were careful to be 6 feet away, but we would meet for dinner. One of us would make dinner, or we'd go to Wagshall's and buy dinner, and would join and talk with each other. And so that we always had a way to understand what I was going through, and people helped. And I think throughout the whole last few months, I've understood so much from human relationships and friendships, that when you're in trouble, what matters the most is that you have somebody that you can rely on, somebody to talk to, somebody you can take a walk with. And those kind of friendships will stay with me all my life. And that's all these wonderful friends who helped lived in Cleveland and Woodley Park. And I just felt so happy and lucky to be in this community. Before I just talk about community, can I just tell you a few stories about Rose, my grandmother? When my parents asked to write her thank you note, she would then send those thank you notes back with ink, correcting our grammar and our spelling. So it wasn't exactly a warm feeling about grandma at that time. She was very strict about when we would go to bed, and everything about her was extremely strict. So as you can, it was very, but at the age of 75, she started to slow down a little bit. So it was more fun to be with her. And we would 2-mile walks in the morning, 2-mile walks in the afternoon. And she was very interesting about her walk. She would, first of all, pin famous quotations to her sweater, because she said, "You'll never know when somebody will come to visit you, and you'll have to, or you'll never know when somebody will ask you to give a speech, and you'll have to say something appropriate." So she'd memorize quotations. And then she would always go up and study her French and German till she was 92, because she said, you know, never know who's going to come visit. You might have to speak to them in their own language. So she was very keen on keeping her intellectual life alive. But what I think was a very big part of her life was the fact that when she grew up in Boston, there were still the signs that said, "No help wanted, no Irish need apply." And so she described the incredible discrimination that she felt about being Irish. And that, in a sense, created her own community, the Irish Catholics. And then she did something called the Ace of Clubs. You talk about community, which was a club for Catholic women who had traveled. And she wanted to show that Catholic women, which were looked down upon by the WASPs in Boston, were also intellectual and smart and well-read. And she wanted to show that they too, or her group, could be just as educated as anybody else. And that community is sort of a different sense, but it's a sense that we're here and we can do something, we can accomplish something together. So she believed in that. And then out of that, of course, came the sense that because she discriminated against, she was very aware and taught her children, and obviously grandchildren, to help others. And that because she had seen what it meant when people didn't treat you well. But my mother and father also believed in engaging us in getting and knowing what was going on in the world and being involved. So for instance, when other children, 3- and 4-year-olds, would go to the playground, you know, and swing on the swings and go and seesaw, my mother would take us to the Senate Racket Committee hearings. There were 11 of us, but my mother and father thought that everybody should have a chance to speak. So except on the weekends, we would sit more often together, but during the week, there would be the younger children seating at 6, and then the older children seating at 6:30, so that everybody would have a chance to talk. Because, as you can tell, I came from a family that said you should get involved, and that really, I think one of my favorite quotes from Jack Kennedy is somebody asked him why he was running for president. And he said, because that's where the action is. And he realized that one of the joys in life is making a difference, that this isn't just, you know, duty or, you know, terrible when you help another person. This is actually fun. It gives you a sense of accomplishment. So I thought that I was lucky that I came from a family that taught me this, and that too many young people don't have that sense of power and sense that they can make a difference. My Aunt Eunice started Special Olympics in her backyard, whether it was doing that or whether it was going, helping out on an Indian reservation, which is what I did after my father died. So there was always a sense, as my father would say, came back from Mississippi and saw children with distended stomachs, sores all over them. Kathleen, do you know how lucky you are? Do you know how lucky you are? Do something for your country. You have something you have to give back. When my daughter and grandson died, about 600 people wrote me, and there were 180 first responders. So I wanted to write thank you notes to each of the people who wrote me or who were a first responder. And what was so helpful for me to do is to write those thank you notes and write thank you over and over and over each day or every other day, because gratitude is important as a part of community. And I had just suffered this enormous loss, but having to say thank you to each of the people who wrote or helped or looked at my daughter and grandchild was a wonderful way, in a sense, of healing, because seeing others in the world were helping and that you could say thank you was a wonderful way for my heart to heal.
Thank you so much, Kathleen. What an inspiring message that you've given us in this unprecedented time, that we can get through this together as a community and by being grateful and practicing gratitude. What a great message of healing and hope for the future. So thank you so much for being a part of this important endeavor and supporting our community. I want to just acknowledge some very important gifts that have come through while Kathleen was speaking. We have Kira Thompson, who donated $25. Vera Ashworth, a good friend of mine, donated $200. Kate Stevens, daughter of our founder, Barbara Stevens, donated $100. And our founder and one of our founders and current board chair still, Mary Worstel, has donated $1,000 and offered a match. And of course, we got a match right away from Missy, and we thank you so much. Peter Stevens donated $150, and Catherine Stevens donated $25. And it's hard to keep up with all these, and it's just so wonderful. I want to say thank you to everyone that has donated. It's so very important and so inspiring. But Liam, we have to close out some auction item issues here. And one of our members, Barbara Stevens, had a little issue with the technology, I believe, but we're up to $1,000 on the Dixon Carroll weather vane sculpture, which is...
That's right, the weather vane sculpture, we actually had 3 bids in at $850, and then we got a bid in at $1,000. So thank you very much to Barbara for her gift of $1,000, her bid for $1,000. Does anyone else want to jump in? I hate to do this and outbid Barbara by $50, $1,050, or even $100. Take it up to $1,100. Your last chance to jump in, because we've got to close out the bid. It is that weather vane sculpture. It's a stunning piece. It'll be a conversation piece when you bring it to your home, the winning bidder who wins this tonight. So $1,000 currently. Barbara, the bid at $1,000. Unless anyone else jumps in at more than $1,000, $1,050 or $1,100, we're going to close it out. So the weather vane sculpture at $1,000. Anyone else? In 5, 4, 3, 2, last bids in now. Last bids in now. Anyone more than $1,000? Can we take it up further than $1,000? You know, my favorite movie is Spinal Tap. Let's crank it to 11. That would be 1,100. Anyone at 1,100? Otherwise, it goes to Barbara at 1,000. My word, just in $1,200. $1,200. Ted Weedlin. Ted, 1,200. Is Ted going to be the winning bid? Will that be the winning bid at 1,200? Lucky 13. Anyone want to roll the dice? Take us to 1,300. Anyone want to feel lucky? Get lucky tonight and take home this glorious weather vane sculpture. Our thanks once more to Dixon Carroll. You know, we were hearing just a few minutes ago about gratitude. We want to thank everyone who's bidding, because you're bidding. The more you bid, the more you give, all going back to the village. We will continue to serve our members and do this great work. So 1,200 is bid by Ted. I'm going to do a last call. Last call. Last call. Fair warning at 1,200. Anyone else? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Any last bids? Any last bids? No other bids. It's going to go to Ted. Ted at $1,200. Sold. Congratulations, Ted. You get the weather vane sculpture. What about that, Frank? How exciting was that?
That is amazing. And thank you so much, both to Ted and to Dixon. We so appreciate it. And to all of our donors. let's take a moment to check in on our thermometer. We are currently at $17,376 in donations. That is just amazing and just so appreciated for every $25, $200, $500, $1,000 donations. Every little bit helps, and we're so appreciative. What I'd like to do now is to introduce you to our Assistant Director of the Village, Claire Thompson, who is always tirelessly working, trying to work with our members and matching volunteers to member requests. And I can honestly say I couldn't do this job without her, and I'm so happy she's right there with me as my team member. So let's meet Claire.
My name is Claire Thompson, and I'm the Village's Assistant Director. I've been coordinating our Village's member services for about 4 years now, and I've always felt so lucky to play a part in such a vital program for the community. A lot of times it can be the simplest tasks that present major obstacles for seniors when they're trying to remain in their homes. These things can be as simple as driving to medical appointments, getting groceries, changing a light bulb, or even flipping a mattress. Sometimes the obstacle can be loneliness and social isolation. But at the Village, all our members have to do is give me a call, tell me what they need help with, and I match them up with a Village volunteer who also happens to be one of their neighbors. It's a great way for our members to get the support and the confidence they need to stay at home while making new friends and meeting their neighbors along the way. But let's hear from some of our members.
It's just not having to worry if someone is there. And some of the volunteers have really helped us, like they've gotten groceries a couple times, I've taken our cat to the vet, just a lot of doctor's appointments. And one of the volunteers really has become a friend of ours.
On Zoom, on the Village, when I can, I do the creative writing. I've been trying to pull together a men's group.
One of the best things for me is that during the pandemic, I've gotten really close to one of the members because we're speaking several times a week on the telephone. And it's just delightful to have conversation.
You get to meet wonderful people. You have great experiences. I mean, at present, I'm one of the people who receives food drop-offs from the Village weekly, and homemade. Most of the food is homemade, and it's just a very loving gesture to say, we're thinking of you, we're glad you're here in our community.
Well, initially I didn't know much about how the Village works, but I did like the social part of the Village, and I like the spirit of the Village. So I enjoyed going on the tours and the lunches, meeting people.
I didn't bring my car when I moved to DC. I love the convenience of buses, but they're all too full of germs now. So I'm able to get rides to medical appointments that I must attend in person. And I have gotten a little tech help. The Village provides access to so many ways to meet people virtually and fill the long days at home. When we get out of prison, I will know more people to do things with, especially from Zoom meetings of every subject.
The helping neighbors was just a slogan before, but it's so true since the pandemic. Every week I receive services in the form of meals, greetings, phone calls. It has just been wonderful. The Village has been more than just a village. It has been the support group that I've always wanted because of my visual impairment. The Village is serving my purposes perfectly.
Thank you, Claire, and thank you to our members who are so special to us in so many ways. I want to just update you on some donations that came in while we were watching that great video. Linda Ayers and David Brewster have pledged $100, and thank you so much. Great Woodley Park neighbors. And Jake Stevens, Barbara Stevens' son and Rufus's son, $250. Thank you so much. We're really making progress, and we're so appreciative of all of your donations. Liam, why don't we go to the third auction item? I think this one, I've got a stake in this one.
Well, actually, this is number 4, Frank. This is 404, another live auction item. You can jump on hand bid right now, get your bids in. So our dear Frank, and by the way, Frank, thank you so much for being the best co-host tonight. Frank, I've sampled his cooking. He knows how to cook. He does. Beyond the salt and pepper, he knows great pasta, he knows great pizza, and he's going to do a feast. Not for 2, not for 4, not for 6, a feast for 8 people. Think about the movie Big Night. It's a festival of food. And so Frank's going to prepare this incredible dinner. Frank, for those who've never had your cuisine, I know that you delve deep into your Italian roots when you cook. So what kind of dinner party, be it a virtual one or one in person, are you willing to prepare and present for our friends watching tonight?
I'm happy to do whatever anyone would like. You know, if you want a dinner party for 8 when we can all gather again, I'm happy to do that, and I'll bring the wine too. At least 3 bottles, maybe more. We want everyone to have a good time. I'm happy to accommodate any food issues, any allergies, any dietary restrictions. Can certainly do vegetarian dishes, and would love to do whatever would make you and your guests happy. If you'd like your meals before this pandemic is over, I'm also happy to deliver. And you can, within a 10-mile or so radius, or if you're one of my former clients for whom I cooked professionally that lives an hour or so away, I'm looking at you, David and Patricia Voss, I'd be willing to drive out there as well and drop off the food. If they're a single person or a couple and you'd like several dinners rather than one big dinner for 8, I'm also happy to do that as well. I want to make your lives easier in any way that I can.
Well, Frank, listen, thank you for your generosity. Before we go to the bidding, is there a favorite dish, Frank, that you love to prepare? What do you say is your pièce de résistance?
Oh, that's hard to say, but if you're speaking Italian, you know, I'm an Italian American, and my mother taught me lasagna from the age that of 3. I think I started making the meatballs for the lasagna. So certainly I can do some wonderful lasagnas, even some specialty ones from, you know, eggplant and goat cheese lasagna to your more typical, you know, bolognese.
Well, Frank, thank you. I know it's not a popularity contest. However, the bids are coming in thick and fast. We were going to start the bidding tonight at 250, go up in increments of 50. But guess what, Frank? We already have 32 bids, and the bidding right now is at $12.50. $12.50 for the dinner for 8. Wine's going to be a part of it. And you know what, Frank? I'm going to throw in a couple of extra good bottles of stuff, which I'm going to have sent to the winning bidder tonight. So dinner party for 8 people. It could be a virtual dinner party. You know, maybe Frank's cooking and then they bring the food to you later, or in person. You could push this to 2021 if you want to, right, Frank?
Absolutely. And whatever works for you will work for me. I'll make it convenient for you.
All right, the bidding now. We have 37 bids in. $12.50, the highest bid right now. Anyone at $1,300? Come on, lucky 13. Anyone at $1,300? A dinner party for 8. Food, memories, conversation, great wine, all gathered around a table. Frank is your chef. We love Frank and have a night with him. Even if there was no food, that would be fun. So looking for a bid at $1,300. We have a bid in, many bids at $12.50. Anyone want to jump in? A dinner for 8 at $1,300. Anyone want to be bold, be audacious, be outrageous, and just know he will deal with all your dietary needs. If you want a vegetarian dinner, if you want an Italian dinner, maybe you want a Southwestern dinner. If it was me bidding, I'd go for a British dinner. Frank, can you cook shepherd's pie? Can you do it? Bangers and mash. 1,300 now bid. 1,300 is now bid. 1,300. You know what? Because there's such a frenzy around this, we're going to go up in hundreds. Otherwise, we'll be here all night. 1,300 is bid. Anyone want to jump in at 1,400 for the dinner party for 8 people by Frank? Frank, our executive director, Frank the chef. He's your chef, your guy, one night, 8 people, dinner party, great wine, great cuisine. Anyone want to jump in at 1,400? Yes, we have bids at 1,400. We're going to take it higher. Let's go higher because we're here tonight to raise money for the village. The more bids we get, the more money we raise, the better we get to serve our members of the village. 1,400 bid. Anyone at 15? Anyone want to jump in now? Go on, be outrageous. This could be the first dinner party you have with friends when we can gather again. And imagine Frank right there. He's your chef in the kitchen, slaving over the stove. Yes, going to work, doing his thing. I know that's his joy spot, cooking. That's where Frank's happy, in the kitchen. He's doing it for you. All these bids in at 1,400. Does anyone want to jump in? Be outrageous. Outbid your friends. Go for 1,500. By the way, text a couple of your buddies right now. Maybe you can go in a few couples. A few couples all go in on this together. We're stalling at 1,400. We're looking for 1,500. Remember, the winning bid gets a special dinner party by Frank. And of course, all the money we raise from this auction item going directly back to the village and serving our members. It's stalling at 1,400, Frank. Frank, what can you add or say to get us to $1,500?
So Peter is here, and he told me to remind everybody that I actually love to make Spanish tapas. So if you're into Spanish food, I'd be happy to do that. We spend a lot of time in San Sebastián, Spain, and I think my tortilla española is pretty good. So we'll see.
Gracias, amigo. Gracias, amigo. Anyone at 1,500? We have 1,400 on the block right now. 14, looking for 15. Maybe 1,450. 15's too high. Let's go to 1,450. Anyone want to jump in at 1,450? Imagine that. 1,450. Can we do it? Everybody, he said he'd go Spanish. He'll go Spanish just for one night. But if you want the Italian flavors, he'll go Italian. Listen, Frank is willing to bend whatever tickles your culinary joy spot. Frank will go there. So Mary Worsel, by the way, Mary just chimed in. She wants to know if you'd also give an Italian lesson. Maybe if a little Italian lesson, you'll throw it in, Frank?
Absolutely, no problem. Or Mexico. I lived in Mexico for 2 years. I'm happy to do Mexican food as well. I love that. Or Spanish food. If you want to make the whole evening a cooking class, I'm also happy to do that. Whatever you would like, I will accommodate you.
Frank, you are incredibly generous. Mary, where's Mary's bid? Is Mary bidding at 1,400? Could Mary take it up to 1,450? An extra $50 for the Italian class? Can we take it to 1,450? Anyone here at 1,450? Friends, I know that we've all got places to go tonight. Hopefully bed later tonight, but we're trying to raise as much money as we can. We want to move on to our next, actually, is this? We have one more auction item. We're still at 1,400, Frank. Is there anyone willing to jump in right now at 1,450?
Let me thank the recent donors, and we'll close this auction bid down. Bruce Johnson, thank you so much. A friend of long standing, also a Cleveland Park resident. He just donated $1,000 through our charity function, and so thank you so much to Bruce and to Keith. Really, it means so much. And also Sherry and Hans Miller, thank you so much for your $100 donation. And Burnett Thompson, thank you so much for your $25 donation and your gift of music to our event tonight as a bronze sponsor. Thank you so much. We really couldn't do this without you. We're up to 1,500 and on the app for this dinner, so I'm blushing at this point. But thank you so much. We'll make this fantastic for you. While we finish this out, let me just announce another trivia contest, and then Liam, you can announce the winner of the auction. So I think, so here's for a $25 gift certificate. There's a federal style house in Woodley Park called the Woodley House that was constructed in 1801 and served as the home of Grover Cleveland, Martin Van Buren, and Henry Stimson. What is the home used for now? So that's our trivia question, and we're going to see who gets the answer to that. And I think we have a winner for the dinner.
Yes, we do, Frank. We want to say congratulations, Jeffrey Lofton, the winner of the dinner. Jeffrey, thank you for your bidding. And everyone else, we had 41 bids, a bidding frenzy for Frank's Italian dinner. Congratulations to Jeffrey Lofton. And I think he won the dinner. I want to say he won it for $14.50. We'll find out if that was right. Jeffrey, congratulations, and have a terrific time with Frank. The winner of the trivia question, Frank?
Is Michael Whitty. Thank you so much, Michael, and you'll get a gift certificate to a local restaurant for $25, and it's the Murray School. That's what the Federal Style House, Woodley House, is now used for. So thank you so much. So Liam, let's wrap this up and go to our fifth auction item, a great travel package to your neck of the woods, Napa Valley.
Absolutely, friends. I'm in San Francisco tonight, but just an hour away is the stunning, bucolic heart of Northern California wine country. I'm talking about Napa, your home away from home, not for one, not for two, but for 3 nights. 3 nights. The Setting Inn, a hop, skip, and a jump from Yountville. There you'll find, of course, the Michelin-starred, 3 Michelin-starred French Laundry. We're going to send you to the next best place, though, Thomas Keller's Bouchon. That's where you'll have your breakfast. Bouchon, listen, 1 bite of a Bouchon croissant, you're instantly transported to Paris. Yes, you are. Sensational bakery, and of course, by the hands of the great, celebrated Michelin-starred chef Thomas Keller. Also, as part of your experience, you will enjoy a wine tasting at Domaine Chandon. You'll also have a culinary experience at the CIA. No, nothing to do with that CIA, but the Culinary Institute of America, CIA. I'm actually a fellow of the CIA, so you will be treated to a wonderful experience there. But there's more, not just the hotel for 3 nights, not just the Bouchon breakfast, not just your wine experience at Domaine Chandon, but also you will have transportation by car, a luxury car for 6 hours as you hop and skip and drive your way around stunning Napa Valley. So friends, we got to go big for this one. We're here tonight to raise money, of course, as we know, for the village. This is the last live auction item. Of course, you can jump online all the way through Sunday just before midnight, 11:59 p.m. Sunday, to bid on all the other items. But this right here, right now, here we go, Frank. The Napa Getaway will go up in 100s. We'll start the bidding at 2,500. Anyone want to jump in at 2,500 for the Napa Escape, 3 nights? And please know, we're all going to want to travel. We're all going to want to escape when we're through this. We are going to get through this. 2021, you'll have an entire year. If you have to, extend it into 2022. But I think 2021 is going to be the year you get to go to Napa. So anyone want to jump in at $2,500, the 3 nights in Napa? Of course, this does not include airfare. Want to mention that. But you do get your transportation for those 6 hours in a luxury car that'll take you from your breakfast at Bouchon onto the CIA, onto the winery, the Setting Inn, your place for your overnight stay. Anyone want to jump in at $2,500? And if you think about the value of this item, instead think about the value of your gift and the money that we raised tonight for the village and our members. And wherever you're watching tonight, we thank you. We thank you for bidding. Thank you for being generous. But does anyone want to jump in and be our first audacious, outrageous bidder for the Napa Getaway at $2,500? You know what? And I'm going to throw in one more thing. Whoever wins this bid, I'm going to throw in a tasting. It'll be a tasting for 2 at JCB at Raymond Vineyards. It is one of the most romantic places to enjoy vino in the Napa Valley. So I'm going to throw in an extra tasting. Jean-Charles Bosset, one of Napa Valley's greatest winemakers. I'm going to throw in a tasting for 2. So whoever wins this bid, you'll also get to go to JCB. It'll be VIP all the way. So anyone want to jump in at $2,500? And maybe you want to think about it. You maybe want to talk it over with the one you love or the person you're taking. So we can always keep this online over the weekend. Frank, anything to add? What do you say?
But, you know, this can extend into 2022. So if you're not sure about traveling in 2021, just this can be a delayed trip for you. We're happy to do that. And also, just a clarification, the Domaine Chandon is the nearby vineyard. The tour of that is not included in this package, but believe me, I've been on that tour. It's fantastic. You'll want to add it, but it's not part of this package, but it's still so close. And they have these great electric bikes at the setting in that they loan you, and you can simply go there, just a short little trip down the road.
Here's the good news. I know the folks well at Domaine Chandon, so I'm going to make a call to them. There will be 2 wine tastings, Domaine Chandon and Raymond Vineyard, Jean-Charles Boisset. So I will make sure that we have 2 tastings for 2 as part of this experience. And remember, as Frank mentioned, we're going to extend this into 2022. So if you're thinking, I don't know if I've got room on my calendar in 2021 or even want to travel to the Napa Valley, we'll extend it all the way through to 2022. Friends, Frank, here's what I'm thinking, because we have more fundraising to do tonight. I'm thinking we keep this online, and we'll keep it up until Sunday night. So if anyone wants to talk it over, and we can get that bid going all the way through the weekend. How about that?
Absolutely, that's great. And yeah, in the interim, I want to just acknowledge some great gifts. We have Dongfeng, who donated $25. Julia Thompson also donated $25. Thank you so much for these gifts. It's so important, and we're just so pleased with it. You know, at this point, I would like to remind everyone about our gold sponsors. We're so thankful for all of our sponsors, and in particular, I want to mention our gold sponsors. Our co-chair for this event, board member, volunteer, Marjorie Dick Stewart, is also one of our gold sponsors for this terrific event. Ruth Ellis, a Woodley Park resident, just lovely woman who donated $3,000 as a gold sponsor, and we're so appreciative of your gift, Ruth. My good friend of many years, Brian Fusini, works at RBC, is also a gold sponsor tonight, and I thank him for his commitment to the organization. Our local Cleveland Park, Thomas E. Clark Plumbing and Heating, they have been sponsors for us for many years, and we're so appreciative that they too are a gold sponsor. And finally, Barbara Stevens and Rufus King, our founding president, Barbara, and her ever supportive husband around that table as we form the village. Thank you so much for your gold sponsorship of this event. I want to go now to our final trivia contest, and there's a famous building in Cleveland Park that was once an A&P grocery store and was most recently a Walgreens. It's got a great Art Deco exterior, and from 1955 until 2007, this building housed a restaurant where presidents, heads of states, and diplomats, and perhaps some spies, were said to have dined. Which one of the 2 names of that restaurant can you name? So we're looking for the name. It actually had 2 names, but we'll take either one of that restaurant. And we have the first answer is from Alan Weinstein. It's correct. It's Yenqing Palace, and that is correct. That was actually, oh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake, Alan. I'll still give you a $25 gift certificate. It's John Wicking, and he's our co-chair, and you both get it. The answer is the Yenqing Palace or the Peking Palace. Originally, it was named the Peking Palace, but they were sued because there was a Peking-related restaurant up the street that sued them, and they had to change their name. It's amazing what trivia you can find out when you're walking down the street and you look at the signs. Right now, I'd really like us to take a moment and to hear from some very important voices saying some very important and meaningful words very quickly. So let's go to those important voices.
I'm a part of the village.
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 I too am part of the village.
I'm part of the village.
I am part of the village.
I am part of the village.
I'm part of the village.
I am part of the village.
I am part of the village.
I'm excited to be part of the village.
I'm part of the village.
I am part of the village.
We're part of the village.
We're part of the village.
I too am part of a village, and I'm so happy to be so. And those really are important words, because it does take a village, particularly during a pandemic. Now, I'd like to introduce you to our founding president, Barbara Stevens, and our current co-chair, Sandy Rubin, to give you another important message about how we can make our village sustainable for the future generations.
I'm Barbara Stevens, the founding president of the Cleveland and Woodley Park Village, here with Sandy Rubin, who will join us in just a few moments. Helping to form the village was one of my life's proudest achievements, because it is so important in its mission for neighbors to help neighbors. Almost a decade ago now, when we sat around kitchen tables and dining room tables, we never guessed just how important the village would be, even more so now with the pandemic. The village needs our donations tonight, but it also needs an endowment so that such an important organization can continue for generations to come. We don't know what's ahead or what's around the corner, but we do know that this organization will help navigate any uncharted waters by bringing people together. So tonight, I'm happy to announce the creation of an endowment that will help secure the village's future. Rufus and I are happy to remember the village in our estate planning, and we hope dearly that you will as well. So please join me in thinking of and naming the village in your estate plan. A huge thank you to you all. None of this would have been possible without you, and I look forward to the village's increasingly important and exciting future.
Barbara, thank you for your leadership 8 years ago and today. I am Sandy Rubin, and I serve as the current co-chair. The village has touched my life in ways that I hadn't expected, as it brought me an amazing community of friends. We are truly neighbors helping neighbors. So, to ensure that its good work continues, I have designated a percentage of my estate to the village. There are other ways to name us in your estate planning, including gifts of stocks or naming us the beneficiary of an IRA or 401k plan. I hope that those of you watching, whether members, volunteers, or just someone who cares about our mission of neighbors helping neighbors, will join Barbara, Rufus, and me in taking the next step to support our wonderful village. Thanks for being here tonight.
Thank you, Barbara, and thank you, Sandy, for your leadership then and now. It's so important, and I'm really inspired by your hard work. It's truly meaningful. Liam, let's take a little snapshot of our thermometer at this point and see where we are. We've had a number of donations while we were off air there for a minute. So we have Lori Cooper, who's donated $50. Thank you so much. And my second cousin, Craig Jablonski, donated $100 from Toledo, Ohio. Thank you so much. Shout out to you and Corey. Thank you. We so appreciate the support of everyone. And we have some exciting news that we have $2,000 that's been donated in order to try to get some matching bids. We have Vera Brown, who was a board member just until last year, and she's still currently a member of the organization. She donated $500. Betsy Lamond of First Savings Mortgage, one of our bronze sponsors, donated an additional $500 tonight. Beatrice Menge, a member, delightful woman, donated $200 as part of our matching campaign. And we have an anonymous donation of a member for $300. So we thank you so much. That's $2,000 that we're trying in this final push to see if we can get matched. All of you have been so generous, and we would so appreciate anything that you can give us tonight.
So Frank, as we're at the home stretch here, of course, we want to say thank you to everyone who's been so incredibly generous. Frank just mentioned a match that we have for $2,000. So in these last few minutes, we're hoping we'll have some last minute bidders and givers and donors. And just think about this, whatever you give in the next few minutes, it will be matched up to $2,000. So if you give $5, it becomes $10. If you give $50, it becomes $100. If you give $100, it becomes $2, because we're going to match dollar for dollar up to $2,000. You know, Frank, Michelle Obama had a saying, when they go low, we go high. Well, in the fundraising world, we start high and we go low. So I'm just going to put a number out there. I know many have already given tonight. Again, we thank you. If you've not had a chance to text a pledge or pledge to give in the chat room or just by texting, please consider that. And so to paint a picture, $500, Frank, $500 could be used for case management services. And this is crucial for our members at this time, right?
Absolutely. And, you know, social isolation is a real health hazard in itself for our members and particularly those living alone, especially during this time. So it's so important to be able to have somebody that they can speak to and reach out to and have a supportive ear to be there on the other end of the phone or the other end of the Zoom call. So $500 allows us to provide, on average, those case management services to all the members that request them each month. And that would be such a terrific gift.
And Frank, we just got word actually in honor of Beatrice, the Whitties are going to give $200, a $200 gift from the Whitties in honor of Beatrice. How lovely is that?
Oh, that's just fantastic. And what a bond and friendship that they've enjoyed through being a volunteer and a member in that interaction. And so it's just lovely to see every day. And it's really what this village is all about creating community and being there for each other. And they certainly are. And so that's good to hear.
So Frank, a gift of $250, how might $250 for someone who's thinking about jumping in with a gift at that level, how would that be used perhaps?
Sure, so that allows us to offer virtual programming each week. We have a number of different programs, such as a creative writing course or a session. It's not really a course. We have a poetry group that Claire leads. We have yoga, meditation, a gratitude circle. And all of that takes a little bit of time and energy to put together. And so the $250 allows us to do that each week and keep people engaged at a time when they're having to stay at home. So we pivoted to Zoom like the rest of the world, but we're keeping people together.
So in these last few minutes, friends, just a reminder, we have a match up to $2,000. So whatever you give in the next few minutes is going to be matched dollar for dollar. Let me ask you this, Frank, a gift of $100. How might $100 be used by the village if a $100 donation is made right here, right now?
$100, allows us to do probably three background checks for our potential volunteers. And this is really important. I may have spoken about it before, but all of our volunteers are vetted, meaning that they undergo and pass a background check so that the seniors who are looking for assistance can be assured that their volunteers are not going to be taking advantage of them in some way. And that's a real concern for our seniors because they often are vulnerable to scams. And so part of what we like to tell people is that when you have a volunteer go to your home and help you, you can be assured that that volunteer is going to be a trusted volunteer because we've taken that step. And that takes time and effort, and we have to pay people in order to do that. And so it's worthwhile to us, but that $100 level allows us to vet 3 volunteers to add to our volunteer corps.
Well, Frank, I just want to jump in. I'm going to give $250 for me and my partner, Rick, a pledge from us. So that can be thrown in as part of the match. So $250 to the village for me and my other half, Ricky. So anyone else? Oh, and listen, we just got some pledges come in. Joan Daly. Joan, thank you so very much for your gift of $500. And because we're in match mode, your gift of $500 just became 1,000. So Joan, thank you so very, very, very much. Anyone else want to jump in? We're on the final hurdle, the last stretch. I know it's late. We've kept you here longer than we planned, but we're having fun. It feels good to give. So Frank, we're going to come back in just a moment. We want people to keep on pledging. Please keep on texting. In just a moment, a very special little bit of fun with some champagne and a last chance to give. But first, you have something special for us first.
Yes, all night I've been saying that really at the heart of the village, we're about creating community. And so I would like you to hear from a few of our donors, supporters, and community members that in fact do support the village and why they do that. So let's hear from them. It's pretty moving.
I don't think you could find a better opportunity to make a difference in our neighborhood. It's community engagement at every level. You work with committed local volunteers to help support neighborhood seniors who need just a little bit of our time in order to make it possible for them to continue to live here.
The village does such an incredible job of helping members of the community stay connected, especially during these difficult times. And that's one of the many reasons why we at Baked by Yael are so proud to partner with them.
The villages provide a very robust sort of live-in-place service for senior citizens, and it's a great complement to what everything else is done, and it allows people to feel better staying in place, and they can call the villages and get what they need, and they don't feel like they're a burden. And it's more like teamwork than it is service providers, service help needed. It just feels more like teamwork.
The Woodley Park Main Street program is grateful to Frank and the other leaders and members of the Cleveland and Woodley Parks Village for building a loving, inclusive, and informed community for all generations.
Entire pandemic, the village has helped seniors stay connected and fed by delivering meals to their homes so that they can stay safe.
The village keeps seniors moving, just like we do here at Foundation Fitness.
Cleveland Park Congregational United Church of Christ is thankful for the village for helping keep our neighbors healthy and safe. Normally, the village hosts a weekly yoga class at our church, and they've been able to keep it going virtually throughout the pandemic. We thank you for all you do to help keep our neighbors moving.
It is really good to support the village. The events, the soirees, the events that they've got at the library, the kinds of opportunity we have to mentor and support these seniors is really so important. We urge everyone, as we do, get involved in the village activities. You'll love it, and you'll make a difference in the senior lives.
I support the village because the village supports a strong Cleveland Park community and also supports all of our small and local businesses.
The village is an essential community organization that supports our neighborhood. We are so fortunate to have them as a partner for the Tuesday Talk series and thank them for all the support they give to the library. As partners, we bring the community together.
I wholeheartedly support the Cleveland and Woodley Park Village movement. I think this is a vital program that connects neighbor to neighbor. Volunteers help members aging in place by setting up computer stations, driving people to doctor's appointments, helping with house chores, paying social visits. These are first-rate opportunities for building up community, establishing new friendships, and supporting local social gatherings. Providing grant money to the Cleveland Woodley Park Village has been a priority of All Souls Church for the last 5 years. A number of our parishioners are both members and volunteers. Some have accepted leadership roles. Why? Because the village movement offers a strong neighbor-to-neighbor program that brings people together in caring, responsible, and authentic ways.
I want to thank all of the supporters and donors and community members that support us in spirit. It's great to be a part of this community, and I say this community because although we're two neighborhoods of Cleveland Park and Woodley Park, we are one community supporting each other. and it's just great to see it. So I'm so happy to be in this position to witness such great acts of kindness and generosity. And speaking of generosity, Liam, we have just had some amazing success tonight. And we have one more final thing in store for them. So you want to?
Absolutely, Frank. By the way, thank you. What a generous community. It's been so lovely to be with you. An absolute honor to be part of this special night, our first sort of virtual event and gala together. So I thank you so very much. So I know everyone's given so much tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you from our collective hearts. We thank everybody who's been so generous. Really, this night would not happen without you. But listen, I never leave home without a Magnum. So picture this as a Magnum. We're going to have one last giving frenzy. So we're going to start some music. When I say stop the music, get your last gift in, whatever it is. $5, $10, $25, $50, $100, whatever you want to give. And the very last person to pledge, after I say stop the music, we're going to send you a Magnum. It is a Blanc de Blanc, Raymond Vineyards, Jean-Charles Boisset. So start the music, folks. Here we go. We'll look at the thermometer. I'll remind you as the music starts that you can text your pledge to 41444. That's 41444. Text CWPV, of course, for Cleveland Woodley Park Village, CWPV, and then all the instructions are right there. Just follow the instructions, pretty simple, and whatever you give, it is so greatly appreciated by our members, the community. Yes, it is, so very, very much. So last pledges, last text, get them in, the last pledges, and when I say stop the music in just a bit, that's when you put in your pledge, and the very last pledges that we get, the very, very last one, we will send a Magnum to the very last person to pledge. And of course, you can continue to give all weekend. You can bid on the silent auction items all weekend. So here we go. I'm going to ask you to stop the music. Frank, we're going to get those last pledges in. So we're just going to wait for that text to come through, the very last person. And by the way, Frank, I have to say, I've had the joy of doing hundreds of auctions, but your community this evening has shown up. Big hearts, big giving hearts. Everyone has given so much, and I know everyone is incredibly grateful and thankful just for making life at the village that much greater and better for our members. So we thank you for your generosity. We thank you for your bidding. Do we have a last person who's texted to pledge? We'll wait for you to come in.
Last person, let me say some very important pledges have come through. We have Ruth Merriman, who donated $100 in memory of Martha Norberry. Thank you, Ruth, and that's a great way to honor her memory. Thank you. Judy Hubbard, a new member, has donated $100. Thank you, Judy. It's great to have you with us, and thank you so much. Michael Whitty has donated $30. Thank you, Michael. Gloria and Ellen Mazer, $100. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
And Frank, I think perhaps I'm thinking that Gloria and Ellen, with that $100 gift with a last to pledge, show, I'm pretty sure we're going to be sending a Magnum. Bubbles on the way to you. Thank you so very much. Thank you for your big giving hearts, and to the whole community for being part of Summer Spritz. From me, Liam, thank you. Frank and Anna, thank you so very much.
Thank you, Liam. It's been great. Let me just quickly say some other pledges that have come in, and we so appreciate it. Di Elkin, a member, has pledged $100. Thank you. Personal friend, Jenny Meyer, who's known me all my life, $250. Thank you, Jenny. We so appreciate it. You know I love you. Emily Martin donated $100 in honor of her mother, Patty Webb, a member. Thank you so much, Emily. It really means so much to us. I didn't want to leave without saying every name that has donated. It's just been so terrific. And finally, I want to turn to, again, our co-chair for this event, Marjorie Dick-Stewart, who wants to share with you, as a gold sponsor, her appreciation. Marjorie?
I am so excited to sponsor and co-chair our very first Summer Spritz. Everyone involved this year deserves an extra special thank you for going back to the drawing board to create this fabulous virtual fundraising events. I'm Marjorie Dick Stewart, board member, sponsor, volunteer. I'd like to thank all of our supporters, our sponsors, volunteers, members, donors. A huge thank you to our guest speaker, Kathleen Kennedy Townsend. Thank you to our Spring Fling Summer Spritz Committee, my amazing co-chair, Pat Whitty, our tireless director, Frank Finnemore, Assistant Director, Claire Thompson. Thank you to our auctioneer and everyone who worked behind the scenes to pull off this incredible, incredible virtual Summer Spritz.
Thank you for attending the Summer Spritz and supporting the Cleveland and Woodley Park Village. Stay tuned for some hilarious bloopers. You can still donate by texting CWPV to 41444 at any time to make your charitable donation to the village. And you can also bid on the auction until Sunday at midnight. So please keep bidding. Thank you for supporting the village.
At the end of the show, we're going to have a bloopers reel because it's just hilarious.
Oh, no.
See, it really does take a village. Kate,
So this is not in my interest. This is talk about estate planning and making requests. You know, she's not competent. She's not competent is all I can say.
You know what? This is going to make a great blooper reel. Okay.
Also, a huge thank you to you all.
We have to redo that. We have to redo that.
We are the village.
We are the village.
We are the village.
You need a teleprompter.
This is what we're going to do.
I got an idea.
Okay.
Do you see this?
I don't know. Why not?
I can turn the lights on.
I love it.
Wait a minute.
Frank's going to shoot me when he sees you with that on your head. I like it.
Go ahead.
It's simple. Neighbors helping neighbors.
No.
It's not coming over.
What?
You want me to start? You want me to start with the text?
I am John.
Weaking.
Hi, everyone.
Okay. It was not.
And Rufus would just make coffee in the kitchen and sit down at a chair and read the book.
Read the paper.
Yeah. And I mean, we must have been at your house 20 times.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because we did all the interviews and everything.
Everything there.
Rufus was so patient because we were at your house
all the time.
I think it was 2 years to start. And
2 years when he didn't get his breakfast.
yeah, he
We
got
have a dinner party for 2 years because your dining room was our office.
yeah, and he never complained, you know.
No, not at all. He got a big kick. He thought it was wonderful. He thought it was wonderful.
So wait, how did I start? Yeah. Because it feels good. Oh, and I have to remember about getting more connected to my community. If I forget to mention that, say, do you ever see anyone from the village around? That'll be my cue. Okay. So what do I? So the short version of what do I get out of being a volunteer?
Yeah.
For 1 second, I'm sorry. No. Yep. Thanks.
that my dear sweet husband was asking me something. Okay.
I know this sucks, but we've got you. Because it really does. It stinks for everybody.
You all joined as a household, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, great.
Should be doing it like the television people, where I have it on the wall in front of me.
That's actually perfect. Both of your and the timing of that was even great too. So I think we're good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's great. So that wasn't too painful, right?
No, it was kind of fun.